I'm Jason McIntosh, the creator of Motion Trader. Now, I need to be upfront with you. I haven't picked a winning stock for years. I'm serious. But before you close this and run away, my algorithmic trading systems have. And it's those same systems that I want to help you understand today. I'm going to tell you about the strategies and tactics that make them tick. Some of the world's best traders use the same type of process. And by the end of this series, I hope you'll be ready to use it for yourself. Now, if you're like a lot of traders I meet, maybe you're just getting started, or maybe you've been trading for years but haven't found a trading strategy that works for you. Or perhaps you're already trading profitably but could use the help of an algorithm to identify more opportunities from the more than 2,000 stocks on the ASX. Or maybe you're like me and you want to build a full-time career from the markets. If any of that sounds right, then this series could really be important for you. It's the series I wish I had early in my career. I can remember my start so well. I was so excited when I got my first job at Bankers Trust in 1991. There were so many amazing possibilities. I could see the successful traders in the dealing room. I could almost taste what it'd be like to make a living from buying and selling shares. But on the other hand, I was worried. I was worried if I could ever make it work. It all made so much sense and I could see it working for other people, but I was always anxious whether it would work for me. You may be in the same place right now. I know how easy it is to get overwhelmed. There are just so many paths and options, so many different strategies that you could try. You get into fundamental analysis and start learning about balance sheets and profit and loss statements. Or do you look for chart patterns and learn about an almost countless number of technical indicators? Well, that's where I was when I was starting out. You want to make sure you're on the right path. You want to make sure you're using a strategy that works, a strategy with a proven track record over many years. I remember being in that exact same spot. And the one thing that I wanted was a roadmap, a step-by-step formula for making money from the markets. And you know what? I found it. I found the perfect system for me, a process that I've used to make a career from trading markets. And it's not just me. Some of the world's best traders use that same underlying formula. And it gets results. Take my personal portfolio, for instance. It typically has a wide range of stocks, and it's not uncommon for many of these to be showing big double and triple digit gains. And that's the power of using the right trading approach. And I've been able to help people just like you have a similar experience. That's what's possible when you follow the step-by-step process that I'm going to show you. When you think about a successful trader, you probably think of someone who makes a lot of money, and that's often true. The financial rewards for getting it right can be amazing. So here's my invitation to you. As you go through this workshop, I want you to think about what my approach could do for you. How could it change the way you select and manage your stocks? Because when I was starting out, I was exactly where you are right now. And it's this approach I used to build a career that I couldn't have imagined in those early days. But you know, it wasn't all plain sailing. I made lots of mistakes along the way. While it's also clear with the benefit of experience, at the time, I thought what I was doing made sense. And I want to help you avoid those mistakes. These are the same mistakes that end so many careers before they really ever get going. I want to give you the inside running and hopefully head off those mistakes before they happen. You're also going to hear 5 critical rules. These were game changers for my career, and I'm going to share these with you in a minute. Just knowing these rules could transform your trading in ways you can't possibly imagine. So please pay special attention to these. I'll be going through each of these in details during videos 2, 3 and 4. And one more thing, I'm not just going to teach you, I'm going to show you. You're going to see actual trades from my own portfolio. This isn't just some pie-in-the-sky theory, it's a real-life process, a process that could completely change the way you trade. Okay, so we're going to roll into the workshop in just a minute, so get ready to take lots of notes. I'll be teaching you the core principles of my trading formula, the same process some of the world's best traders use. I use them myself in my own systems and I can tell you that they work. And that's what I want to teach you. I want to help you increase your trading profits and minimize your losses by trading the way I do. I'm going to show you that the trading doesn't need to be too complicated if you approach it the right way. You know, I've been successfully trading markets for over 2 decades, During this time, I've had some amazing mentors, people who spent their careers becoming the trader I wanted to be. All I had to do was study their ways and follow their path. Tapping into their wisdom was a career maker. And hopefully this series shapes you in the same way. And the good news is, you don't have to wait 2 decades to learn this for yourself. You just need to tune in to this 4-part training event. For many years, I worked at the Australian headquarters of Bankers Trust, a Wall Street investment bank in Sydney. In that time, I regularly closed deals worth upwards of $100 million. And with that kind of money on the line, you need a step-by-step process to deal with whatever the market throws at you. And that's what I'll be showing you over the next few days. It's the approach I use to trade stocks from home here in Sydney. And it's an approach that some of the world's best traders use to make millions. If you're a trader or you want to get into trading, I know you're going to get a lot of useful stuff out of these sessions. In fact, I'm pretty sure you'll see trading in a whole new light after this series. And if you haven't tried it before or you haven't traded in a while, I can pretty much guarantee you'll want to give it a go after this series. Now don't worry, I'm not going to bog you down with a bunch of dry theory. This isn't about how to read charts or learn technical analysis or anything like that. I've specifically broken the lessons down into 4 short videos, and I'll be giving you examples from my own portfolio to help the ideas sink in. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Now tell me, have you ever heard of Larry Hyatt? No? Well, how about Ed Seykota? Really, you haven't heard of him either? Okay, don't worry, you're not alone. These guys aren't exactly household names. They don't have the public profiles like George Soros, Warren Buffett or Jim Rogers, but they are 2 of the best traders on the planet. Take Ed Seykota for instance. He doesn't head a Wall Street dealing room, and you won't find him trading the markets from the corner office of a city skyscraper. No, Ed's living the dream. He works from his home on the shores of Lake Tahoe in Nevada. His office overlooks a beach and the surrounding wilderness. He's not exactly your typical city trader. Now, people often picture professional traders behind a wall of flashing screens, their eyes constantly scanning an array of changing prices and graphs. But you know what? That's not the reality for everyone. In fact, the opposite is often true. So let me tell you a bit more about Ed Seykota. Now this may surprise you, but Ed's desk doesn't have a single quote machine, not one. Forget that image of frantic buying and selling. Ed's trading is mostly done in a few minutes. That's how long it takes him to run the closing prices through his system. Ed once said, having a quote screen is like having a slot machine at your desk. You end up feeding it all day long. I get my price data after the close each day. And you know what? He's right. I've seen so many people lose money by overtrading, and I'm guilty of this myself. You know, watching a quote screen is like being in a casino with a handful of chips. The urge to play can just be irresistible. In a moment, I'm going to tell you how some of the best traders operate. The simplicity of their strategies is, look, it's often surprising. You'll quickly be able to use some of the strategies for yourself. But first, I'm going to tell you about the impact Ed Seykota's had on my career. You see, Ed's a pioneer of algorithmic trading. Along with Larry Hyatt, who I'll tell you about later, Ed was one of the first people to use computers to test and manage trading strategies. I first read about Ed in a book called Market Wizards. It was back in 1993 and I was a junior trader on the currency desk at Bankers Trust. Now, starting out as a trader at a bank is tough. You have to prove your worth quickly. And look, the clock's ticking from the moment you sit down. You know, I can remember some trading careers ending within days. It really is that tough. But anyway, my main focus back then was on a trade's upside potential. I thought a few big bets were the best way to keep my job. And I can tell you, it was a miracle. Absolute miracle I survived my first year. Fortunately, I had cause to rethink my approach. I'll always remember reading one of Ed's comments. He said, there are old traders and there are bold traders, but there are very few old bold traders. And you know, it was true. And when I looked around the Bankers Trust dealing room, the most aggressive traders were all young men. Ed was talking about people, just like me. I was every bit the bold trader. Really, I was an accident waiting to happen. So that one sentence was a career changer. I began realizing that it wasn't just about how much a trade could make, it was also about how much I could lose and continue trading. This was the light bulb moment. I began looking for trade setups where the potential gain would justify the risk. It was just stupid swinging for the fences if my career might get bowled at the stumps. I also cut back my trade size. It became clear that it was better to have many relatively small trades rather than a few big ones. And this had a dual effect. You see, the risk of a single career-ending trade was now minimal, and by casting a wider net, I had better odds of getting on the biggest trends. I was now in with the chance. I still had a lot of work to do, but I was at least starting to think like a successful trader, not some mug punter. My career was, well, it was no longer on a knife's edge. So what does it take to make millions? Well, people often believe successful trading is all about secrets. They think the best traders have some special knowledge that regular people can't access. You know, I've seen many traders get lost in a maze of indicators and theories. They jump from one method to the next in search of the Holy Grail. But you know what? There is no Holy Grail. There is no secret. The strategies that best traders use are nothing new. They're mostly variations of the same winning tactics that have been used for decades, if not centuries. Many beginner traders, they make the mistake of focusing on one thing, and that thing is when to buy. Now sure, entries are important, but they're just one cog in the machine. The difference between success and failure are the rest of the cogs. But you know, for many people, they lose their trading capital before figuring this out. So how do some of the best traders make fortunes? Well, it essentially comes down to 5 rules. Trade with the trend, have many relatively small trades, cut losses early, be slow to take profits, and give winners room to move. I'm going to go through each of these in detail over the next 3 videos. You'll also see examples from my own portfolio. You'll learn how to apply these 5 key elements to your own trading. You know, successful trading isn't about secrets. It's about a formula. And you don't have to be a Wall Street pro to use it for yourself. The key is to understand the formula and then follow it step by step. That's how some of the best traders make millions from the market. And there's every chance it will work for you too. Well, that just about wraps up day 1. In the next video, I'm going to give you one of the most important lessons you'll ever get, and I'll debunk one of trading's most common myths in the process. You'll also learn a strategy to help ensure you're on the right side of the biggest moves. If you've ever tried to buy a bargain stock only to watch it tumble, or held off buying one of the year's best stocks because you missed the low, then you'll definitely want to tune in. But right now, I want to learn a bit more about you. What does the ability to successfully trade stocks look like to you? What would it mean to your income and your lifestyle? What would it do to your level of freedom in your life? And what would successfully trading do for you and your family? Please scroll down below this video and tell me in the comments section. And of course, if you like this video, if you found it useful, I'd love if you clicked on the like button and shared it with your friends. You know, when I started out, a lot of people were really skeptical I could make a career from the markets. Friends, family, sometimes people really close to you will tell you that you can't do this or you shouldn't do it. And there are the people who have tried and failed at trading because they didn't have the right approach or they didn't stick with it. If you take nothing else from this video, please understand this. The stock market is the world's greatest gift to people with the ambition and drive to make money. And people like you and me are ready to benefit from it, ready to fulfill our potential. You know, I've lived this life for many years, and I built a life and a lifestyle that I couldn't have dreamt of when I was starting out. The ability to trade could open the world to you, and as your success builds, you could have the most amazing freedom you can imagine. It could help you take control of your life. It could help you work where you want to work and when you want to. When you combine the right formula with some hard work, the sky's the limit. And you know, there's no telling how far you could go. I hope I can help you make a big positive impact to your life. So scroll down and leave me a comment. I'm Jason McIntosh, and I'll see you in the next video.